Good evening and welcome to this edition of KTN Prime. Now we'll kick off tonight's bulletin as frantic negotiations are underway in order to break the stalemate between teachers and the government. Government officials who went into the meeting this afternoon are yet to emerge. Now earlier in the day, however, Education Minister Mutula Kilonzo ruled out a 300% salary increment, saying it was too steep and the teachers had missed the window of opportunity when opportunity open to them ahead of the budget. We have the details.
In the face of a strike that has paralyzed learning in public schools across the country, stakeholders convened at the Ministry of Labour Wednesday afternoon in search of a satisfactory solution. Early Wednesday morning, the Education Minister had appeared unfazed as he addressed the press. He reiterated that the government was committed to finding an amicable solution to the teachers' strike, but stood firm on one point. The teachers would have to lower their expectations as the government was not ready to implement the 300% pay increment that they are demanding.
I will not give 300%, but that does not mean we can't talk. But I don't want to promise something that is so ridiculous. I mean, if I give 300% to one sector, what shall I do with the others?
A salary increment that would cost the country an extra 13 billion shillings per year on top of what is already being paid to the teachers. According to the minister, the teachers had failed to take advantage of the period before the budget was read to initiate negotiations.
It must be factored in the budget. And therefore, if you are clever enough, when I go back to law practice and I represent a union, the time to make demands for salaries is January, February, March, so that the ministry can factor it in the budget. After that, you are lost.
The teachers are seeking the implementation of the 1997 agreement, in which the government agreed to raise their salaries in phases. The 1997 pay deal involved a 300% increase in basic salaries for all teachers, as well as higher allowances. The final installment of the pay rise was paid out in 2009, but the allowances are yet to be completed as agreed. The minister rained on the teachers' parade, saying the agreement had been overtaken by events.
A legal notice is supplementary legislation. This is primary law. The 1997 agreement, the sooner you come to the realization that it's a gazette notice and it's supplementary legislation, that cannot override this act.
The only promise he would make, given that public servants had earlier in the year received a pay rise while teachers were sidelined.
I am going to do everything in my power to make sure that teachers' salaries and benefits are harmonized with the rest of the workforce of Kenya. That is an undertaking.
And after hours behind closed doors, the government and the teachers' unions would fail to reach an agreement. The Labour Minister, in whose office negotiations took place, expressing confidence that when negotiations resumed on Thursday, the parties would find a compromise that would compel teachers to take up their chalk once again. Bulkis Anyabwa, KTN Prime.